Bummer. All right. What's up, everybody? It's your good old boy, JR, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And hopefully, he's able to stay on this program today. We got my man, Brandon, here. Brandon, what's going on, my man?
I'm doing good. Hopefully, we do have no technical difficulties. I'm here. I think I'm moving. Okay,
Yeah,
I can see myself.
you're moving fine. I
Okay.
mean, you're moving way better than last week, so that's
Yeah.
the good thing. But yeah, I mean, it's week 9, man. We are literally at the halfway mark of the NFL season. A lot of teams are looking to continue their playoff push. A lot of teams are looking for uh, to see how they handle the rest. Can they make a playoff push? And some teams are just ready for this season to kind of just end.
We kind of talked about this earlier this morning, but now that the story is kind of more out now, the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna get too much into it. Look, in the morning we had our show. He
Yeah.
teamed up with Dan Snyder teamed up with Bank of America to get this thing going. And literally a few hours ago, there is now a criminal investigation heading towards the Washington Commanders. So look, I'm not gonna get into it other than, hey, Washington has always kind of been a team that's always been kind of surrounded by, what's the word I'm looking for? Not controversy, but kind of,
Scandal. Scandals.
scandals. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, man, I don't know other to say than, what, I hope, we'll see what comes about it. I mean, they just started, so we got nothing on it. I mean, we'll see as the weeks progress, but I think it was just a matter of time before all that happened. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense now why he's selling the team.
Yeah, I mean, when you're under a criminal investigation, you want to try to sell as quick as you can. So you'd be like, "Oh, I'm out."
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll have more as this time develops and everything, but right now it's just that's all we know as well. That's all I know. It's just, hey, Dan Snyder's trying to sell the team, and they're under investigation. That's as far as we got. So, but I am ready to make our predictions for this week. I think it's going to be a fun time. And I think week 9 is going to be a very interesting week, and we'll see how it goes. So, other than if you go for the Browns, the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Giants, the Steelers, and the San Francisco 49ers, chill out. Have a good week. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. But moving on to tomorrow's game. Another classic Amazon Prime matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. The Philadelphia Eagles, being 7-0, are traveling to Houston. Houston right now, should everything stand pat, they would own the number 2 pick as of right now. So, in the end, yeah.
Houston.
Detroit. Detroit's worse than Houston.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, actually, I lied. Actually, it would be number 3 because, yeah, they would be number 3. Carolina is, yeah. Or no. You're right. I am right. Houston is number 2. Yeah. Either way, they're picking in the top 2 as of right now. Yeah, but Philadelphia going for 7-0. Houston trying to play for pride. Brandon, who do you got and why?
Is this a question? Is this really a question? Like, listen, okay, Jalen Hurts is going to be back in Houston. He grew up in Channelview, here in Houston. Played in high school here in Houston. So the question really is, how many touchdowns he's going to throw? How many touchdowns he's going to have? Running, throwing. He might even catch one. We've seen people catch touchdowns as quarterbacks. He might even catch one. He might this is. I don't see this game being remotely freaking close. Like, I mean, Philly does. I mean, the one thing about Philly that has gotten better is that they're not just stopping in the second quarter. They're now starting to score in the second half. That was a big problem in the first half of the season for them. They could not score the football after the second quarter. They blow you out, and then it's kind of like they take their foot off the brakes. And it's just like And I think that's the thing. I think Philly wins this game clearly. Philly wins this game, obviously. I think actually, but I wouldn't be surprised if David Mills has a pretty okay game. Like I don't see him having a terrible game, but yeah, I
Look,
mean, this is.
at
I can
this
see
point,
Brandon
David
Cooks even
Mills.
saying I want out. I can see Brandon Cooks being like, I don't even want to play this game.
At this point, look, Brandon Cooks has already made his frustration known that a little hurt that he didn't get traded during the deadline. Look, David Mills can have another okay game and he can have a good game. As long as they're picking in the top 3, top 2, that doesn't matter anymore. It really does not matter anymore because of the quarterbacks that could possibly come out in this year's draft. Doesn't matter. So, with that being said, I got Philadelphia as well. I think the great thing about this is that Houston's going to get them on a 4-day. So, they have to fly to Houston and all that stuff. So, I mean, maybe that's going to be good for them. They're going to get them on a short week and maybe they'll make it look competitive for a little bit. But then Philadelphia's talent is going to take over the game. So who knows? Maybe it'll be interesting at first, but then we'll probably lose interest by the third quarter or something. I don't know. But yeah, give me Philadelphia in this one too. You would think that this looks like the ultimate trap game until you really see how bad Houston really plays. And then it's like, oh God.
I mean, listen, Houston's been in some. I'm not going to look at Houston's been in some games, so it's kind of like does feel like a trap game. The problem is you're playing against literally the most explosive offense in the NFL. That is not good. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't care if they caught him on 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. I think that Philly is just a
2
better
hours.
team.
2 hours, 3 hours, it's like, no, man. Like,
gave him 26 seconds to get ready. Like, they will probably get you in that time frame. I'm pretty sure Philly is just like, we got more in the tank. Like, we got more. Like, it's just like, oh my God.
And now with the trading deadline and what Philadelphia did, I don't expect us to be. Like I said, I think the only good thing is that Philly. They're catching Philly on a 4-day week, so maybe they'll make it competitive. But I got Philly, you got Philly. So moving on, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Chargers coming off a bye, Atlanta coming off a very dramatic win. That's as dramatic as you can win in the NFL, and usually Atlanta is usually on the wrong end of history on those type of games. So it was very interesting to see how that they won. The Chargers coming back after a bye and hopefully everybody getting healthy. Obviously, we know that J.C. Jackson's done for the year. And we don't know the severity of Keenan Allen. If he's coming back, when he's coming back, we don't know. He
suffered a setback in his hamstring injury, so he will not be back anytime soon.
Well, I mean, it all depends on him. Really, it all depends. And I think, you have the Chargers defense who still – they're trying to find their footing still, which is, I think I've been saying this now for a long time, and it's, half of the season, and I'm like, you should have had your footing already, but that's just me. But, we'll see how this week goes. So, Brendan, who do you got? Do you have the Chargers or do you have the Falcons?
I got the Chargers. Reason why, it's not because of the Chargers, it's because of Atlanta. I think last week, the way they won that game and how they had to win that game, Carolina literally gave you the game. Like, there's no way around it. Carolina literally gave you the football game. Mm-hmm. Even when Marcus Mariota threw a pick in overtime, that first drive, threw a pick, run it all the way to damn near the 20, and the field goal kicker missed a field goal that's better than an extra point, and he missed it. So it's just like they gave you.
He missed it pretty bad. It was a pretty bad,
pretty bad.
Like, it was pretty rough.
And you did that against PJ Walker. Now, understand Justin Herbert, who just had a bye week. Mike Williams should be healthy. Austin Eckler should be there.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, the Chargers are so banged up that maybe Atlanta can pull something.
And that's the thing. Like, I think because we're so like, the Chargers suck this year. Atlanta's pretty good this year. This should be an easy Atlanta win. They're at home. This is all of the makings of a game that they should win. Here's the problem. It is all of the makings of a game they should win. This feels like a game. Now, this feels like a trap game because you have all of the makings of winning this game, and I think they might have the most problems to get going. I think that defense did let up 34 points. They did leave. They let a wide open, well, not wide open. But DJ Moore just run past a linebacker and a cornerback. Like he just ran past them, caught a touchdown. You feel that for a while. I don't know. I get it, but that defense still is not good. I know they traded and got a cornerback. Okay, great, whatever. I don't care. But I think this is the game the Chargers catch them off guard. It's too easy. Chargers had a bye week. Atlanta just had a very dramatic victory. This is the best time to get them. So I got the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one too. And, usually I was kind of in favor of going with Atlanta here, but then I realized, you know what? I think the Chargers, even as unhealthy as they are, I think they're still talented enough to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if Atlanta wins, then that's great for them. Great for them because now they're taking a real commanding lead in that division, which they desperately need. And the Chargers cannot afford to lose this game because then they'll just be falling more and more behind the Kansas City Chiefs, who are number one in that division. The reason I had the Chargers here, it's not only because the facts that you pointed out. The defense for Atlanta is still trying to figure it out. And I think right now what we're really going to see in this game is that Austin Eckler is going to prove that he's better than everybody else on Sunday. I think this is going to be one of those games where Austin Eckler is going to go off and he's going to have an amazing game. And it is what it is. Now I get it. Cordell Patterson's back. Maybe they'll counterattack with it. It's not the same. It's not the same. I'm going to go Chargers on this one as well.
Yeah.
So next up, we got Miami taking on Chicago. Miami coming back to beat the Detroit Lions in a fashion like that. Again, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are proving why they're the best duo wide receiver tandem in the NFL. Like that's a pretty good tandem. Like they're both in the top 5 receiving. They're doing everything they can and they're winning. Chicago, an impressive victory on Monday Night Football last week. So they've been off for a little bit, so it's kind of like, it's kind of minutes since we saw them and everything, and we'll see how that goes. But Brandon, I guess my question to you is, who do you got? Do you have the Miami Dolphins or do you have the Chicago Bears?
This whole week feels like a trap week, don't it?
It does. It feels like there's a lot of traps in there where you're just like, somebody's going to get caught.
Yeah, I don't think Miami. I think Atlanta gets caught, but I don't think Miami gets caught. I don't think Miami gets caught sleeping. Bradley Chubb's there now. Like I said, I think the best trade wasn't even Bradley Chubb. I think the best trade was Jeff Wilson Jr. From the San Francisco 49ers. You need to unload a running back. Elijah Mitchell's about to come back. You needed a running back. Miami does. I mean, listen, Raheem Mostert can do certain things, but can't do every damn thing.
He can't do everything.
He can't do every damn thing. He's not a up the middle of the field running back. He's a side-to-side running back. Jeff Wilson is more of the pounded up the middle running back. So I think that fits them. It's not super cold in Chicago yet, I don't think. So as long as it's not super cold.
It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly.
Okay, it's a little chilly. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
But I think it'll be fine. I think Miami
like, listen, Tua, this might be the game that we see Tua kind of look like Tua. I don't think that he's going to do a lot of that crazy throwing the ball over the head. People were like, no, this is going to be more of a conservative football game where they're just trying to ease him back into the game. And I think that's kind of what it's going to be. But Miami wins because this has no freaking weapons. I get it. You traded for Chase Claypool. But outside of that, this team just don't. I can't wait till they get this man a real head coach and a real offensive line because then he's just going to shred the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, I'm going Miami here as well, only due to the fact that Chicago kind of did a fire sale on that defense of anybody that was any relevant on the defensive side of the ball. Robert Quinn is gone. Roquan Smith is gone. And, it's just a matter of time before Eddie Jackson's gone. And I think it bodes well for Chicago that they're willing to trust Justin Fields. And I think they're going to move forward with Justin Fields because he has been playing better. People don't realize that he's actually been playing a little bit better. I think the problem is now that Chicago did a fire sale on all their defense starters that were worth a damn, that now add to the fact that, okay, yeah, you added Chase Claypool. Great. But I mean, okay, whatever. You have Cole Kmet. All right, whatever. David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert couldn't do anything on the ground last week. The way I see this game, and again, it's not even due to the fact that everybody's gone. It's just one of those things that Miami right now, they're on a mission and they're trying to compete for a wild card spot. They're trying to get a wild card spot too. And I think the way I look at this Miami Dolphins defense, now that they added Bradley Chubb, I think it's just a matter of time now. They added everything they could. And understand this whole Trey Lance thing is now over because Trey Lance got Miami Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Bradley Chubb. Those are three good football players. So kudos to Miami for doing it. And I think that's why they're going to win.
I'm still not ready to say Tua has the job forever. I just don't feel that way. I think Tua is decent in the regular season, but you're about to go to New England, which is going to be super freaking cold. You're going to New York Jets eventually, which is going to be super freaking cold. And you're going to Buffalo.
And like I said, it's going to be it's a wait and see moment. But right now, you like the trend that Miami's going to, basically.
Yeah, I guess.
You like the trend. You just like the idea. I think the fact that Miami is trying everything they can to stay afloat and get one of those wild card spots. Not saying win the division, because Buffalo's winning that division. They just want to get a wild card spot. And I think that's their goal right now. So I got Miami as well. Next up, we got Carolina taking on Cincinnati. As I mentioned earlier, Carolina, a heartbreak defeat at the hands of the Atlanta Falcons last week. Doing everything they could to tie it, and all they had to do was kick the extra point, but it is what it is. Cincinnati, without Jamar Chase, looks totally helpless on offense. So, totally helpless. Like, it is, super helpless that it is so bad. It is so bad. But, yeah, I know. It was terrible. It looked terrible. They didn't look like an NFL team, It's like, it was really bad. So, Brandon, I ask you, who do you have? Do you have the Carolina Panthers or do you have the Cincinnati Bengals?
I got the helpless Cincinnati Bengals.
The helpless, offensive-less Cincinnati Bengals.
Listen, okay. I think this is going to be a very bad game for Cincinnati's O-line. I do not see this O-line getting any better. But what I do believe is Joe Burrow will make it up. I get it. It's rare to see him without Jamar Chase in the NFL now. It's kind of like, if you ain't got Jamar Chase, this is really bad. But let's not forget, the first drive was actually pretty decent. If Myles Garrett didn't tip the damn ball and get it picked off, they probably would have scored that first drive, and the whole game probably would have been different. It would have been completely different because they were driving the ball. It wasn't like it was a terrible first drive. They just, ball got tipped up in the air. And well, yeah. Then it was picked off, and so I think Cincinnati will figure it out. I think they did better in the second half of that game, kind of knowing how to kind of get Joe Burrow what he needs in some capacity. Look, Brian Burns is going to be there. Shaq Thompson is going to be there. They got enough on Carolina, but I just don't see PJ Walker outplaying Joe Burrow 2 consecutive weeks. Joe Burrow just loses to complete backups. I just can't see it. And they're at home. Like, this is the worst time.
It would be interesting. Yeah.
It would be the worst time to lose 2 straight games.
Then you're kind of playing yourself out of that division when that division's wide open too. I got Cincinnati as well, only due to the fact that, listen, I love what Carolina's doing. They look like they have new life and everything. But the problem is they're still since the Christian McCaffrey trade, they're 1-1. They beat a riddled Tampa Bay team, and then they couldn't put away an Atlanta Falcons team. That just tells you everything you need to know about the Carolina Panthers. Inconsistency. The reason I got Cincinnati is because they just have the overall better weapons offensively. And as good as Carolina's defense is, that Carolina offense, okay, great. You had back-to-back amazing performances offensively. The problem is, look at the defenses that you guys were playing. Cincinnati's defense is a little bit better than Tampa Bay's and Atlanta's. So that's why I'm going to go with here. I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Don't you say Tampa Bay's defense is very bad. Don't you say that to those people out there that love Tampa Bay to death, that thinks Tampa Bay is great and they're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those people.
Yeah. Anyway, I got Cincinnati over Carolina. Yeah, anyway, I got Cincinnati over Carolina, so we'll go with that. Next up, we have Green Bay traveling to Detroit. Green Bay, they're pretty rough. pretty rough outgoing for right now. 4 in a row losses. Detroit, high hopes. Detroit is kind of over. It's over now, right? After losing to Miami, it's over for you now, right? Like you're done. You're done with that train.
I got
Okay.
Detroit. I got Detroit.
Oh my God.
I got Detroit.
Okay.
I'm
Why
jumping
do you
off
have
the train.
Why do you have Detroit? Why do you have Detroit?
I got Detroit. Listen, defensively, they suck. Let's just get that out the way. This was supposed to be the calling card of why this team is supposed to be good this year. You even drafted Anthony Hitchens just to make the defense even better. And nothing's happening.
Okay. I think it's good. I think the problem is that they're still trying to find the chemistry to play together, and they'll get it right.
They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out. But I think the injuries and everything, I think even getting rid of TJ Hawkinson, which didn't make any sense, especially in division. That shit just doesn't make any sense. But I still believe that Detroit could get Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay maybe found the formula last week against Buffalo. Run the ball. They figured it out finally. But you have probably no Alan Lazard again this week. Randall Cobb is still banged up. You trust Sammy Watkins to be the number one guy? Like
Christian Watson is dealing with his deal.
We don't know if he's in and out because he got a concussion. Romeo Dobbs is literally the only person you got that can catch the freaking ball. And it's like, I don't trust Green Bay, man. I just don't trust. And Detroit can always beat Green Bay in one game. They find a way to beat them one time. Not all the time, but one time they found a way. And I think DeAndre Swift being now back, fully back now, being that it's been a week. Amari St. Brown being there. I mean, listen, I think Detroit could figure out something. Not a lot, but something. They still scored 27 points. It's not like they didn't have a chance to beat Miami in that game. They had the ball last, and then they just couldn't score. So I think Detroit still is Detroit. I think they still could score. Green Bay, on the other hand, I don't know if they could score. I don't know if they could score past 17 points.
Okay. So I'm going to go with the team that doesn't have the worst defense in the NFL. So give me Green Bay. Look, man, that defense is terrible for Detroit. It doesn't matter. Like that's the thing. When you have a terrible defense, it's going to show every single week. And now they have some nice individual players. Rodriguez is amazing. Aiden Hutchinson is amazing. 2 rookies. Alan McNeil's, stuff in the run. They have nice individual pieces, but they don't have a whole unit yet. That's where I think they're missing. I think they're just missing one more good defensive piece, a couple defensive pieces, whether it's another corner, another safety, maybe another linebacker to help them out or whatever. But overall, I get it with Detroit. It's fun to watch. But I'm going to go with Green Bay in this one, only due to the fact that, listen, Green Bay, as bad as they are these last 4 games, this is sort of like a pick-me-up game. They cannot lose. If they lose to Detroit, all hell will be breaking loose in Wisconsin. Like, all hell will be breaking loose. Now I'm all for violence and hell breaking loose, but this would be ridiculous. This would be, at that point, it would be one of those situations where, wow, it's worse than we thought.
Just like a couple of weeks ago when you were screaming for Cooper Rush to beat Philly, I want to see Detroit beat Green Bay. I want to see it. I gotta see it. Because it's just like, I want to see.
If Detroit beats Green Bay, I don't think Green Bay had their bye week yet. I'm not sure. I don't think so. If Detroit beats Green Bay, I am literally going to start a petition to have Jordan Love go out there and see what he can fucking do, because it ain't working. So there it is. I'm going to go Green Bay on this one, only due to the fact because, well, it's Green Bay, it's Detroit. Detroit's got nothing to worry about. If they lose to Detroit, it's just going to be
one of those question. Who's got better weapons?
Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit does.
Okay.
I mean, but Green Bay's got Aaron Jones, and that's all they really fucking need at this point.
What if he gets shut down?
Well, then, hey, Aaron Rodgers better show me why he's a back-to-back MVP.
He's gonna throw 2 picks and everybody gonna be like, what the fuck?
That's all I'm saying. I'm being like, if Detroit loses to, or I'm sorry, if Green Bay loses to Detroit, then Green Bay, I'm sorry, you have to really accept the fact that you screwed up this offseason. Like, you massively screwed up.
It is my thing. Like, I've seen Aaron Rodgers just get completely just dejected after he loses a lead. Like, he just doesn't care anymore. And I think that's the problem. Like, I don't think the
Well,
Green
he
Bay
never had a lead to begin with against Buffalo.
It's just like I see him just being like, I don't feel like dealing with this shit no more. Like, he looks like
then you got to think as a fan, how much worse can it be if we had Jordan Love out there? I mean, you drafted him in the first round, for God's sakes. Maybe he can get your offense going. I don't know. Weirder shit has happened, folks. So all I'm saying is Green Bay cannot afford to lose this game. That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm going Green Bay. Oh my God, this next one. The Indianapolis Colts are going to play the New England Patriots. Indy, they fired their offensive coordinator, and New England got an impressive win over the Jets last week. And what I meant to say was Chicago coming off an impressive win in New England a couple Monday nights ago, and then they go to Dallas and lay an egg. That's the inconsistency of Chicago. So, Brandon, who do you got? Do you have the Indianapolis Colts or do you have the New England Patriots in this one?
Is this a question? I got New England. This is
me too. It's just look. I just listen. Nothing against Sam Ellinger. He played amazing. He did great. But Taylor Heinicke was just a little bit better that day.
Who? Wait, who?
Taylor Heinicke. He was just a little bit better that day, and he made the throws that he needed to make, and Sam missed the throws that he should have made. Listen, New England's defense, I think, is going to be all over Indianapolis. And now that they traded away Nyheim Hines, Jonathan Taylor's not practicing. It's just, again, for Indy, we have to stop. And then the fact that they fired their offensive coordinator, that tells me everything they need to know. So give me New England on this one, too. I mean, I'm assuming you have New England, too?
I got Bill Belichick. I got Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I got New England. New England, too. It's just...
Last year, this game happened, I think, a Saturday, and Jonathan Taylor ran for, what, 200 yards?
200 yards. Yeah, 200 yards.
That shit will not happen this week.
Well, because one, we don't even know if Jonathan Taylor's playing. That's number one.
That shit will not happen this week. I'm pretty goddamn sure of it. It's in New England. Mac Jones finally looks like he's now ready to be the starting quarterback. Finally. Sam Ellinger is the quarterback. He did okay against Washington, but you didn't have Chase Young. You didn't really have to really worry, and you still lost that game. I don't know how you lose at home when Washington pretty much was giving you the game. Like, they pretty much gave you the game, and you still lost. So, Frank Reich. This is more so the Frank Reich game because you fired the offensive coordinator, but your ass should be fired.
And his ass is going to get fired if they don't turn it around.
It's getting to the point where it's done. It's getting to the point where it's like your ass should be fired.
The only coaches right now I see that are on the hot seat right now, Frank Reich of Indianapolis and Brandon Staley. If both of those teams misses the playoffs, they both have to go. Brandon Staley and Frank Reich both have to go. And it is what it is. So, I mean, but I got New England too, only because of the fact that I think Bill Belichick will find a way to redeem himself from last year. Jonathan Taylor might not even play, and now with Nyheim Hines in Buffalo now.
What the fuck is Buffalo Nyheim Hines, bro? Why would you do that? Like, why would you do that?
The price was too good. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh
I got New England in this one too, so it's not even. It's whatever to me. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Jets. Buffalo, an impressive Sunday night matchup. The Jets, they look like they were about to do something against New England, and then that happened, and then it just went all downhill for the Jets after that.
Mr. Kruger started to act like his age. Yeah, started acting like his age and not the age that he likes. So it's kind of started bad. Really fast.
Hey,
We're really,
yo, yeah, there it is.
we're really
There it
back
is.
really fast. It was just.
Yeah, there it is. Talking about shooting the moon too quick. Yeah, no, listen. I think we can both agree. I think we both have Buffalo in this matchup, right?
um, yeah, I don't even know if James Robinson even played last week for the Jets. Like I was just like, because all I saw was just Zach Wilson just throwing picks all day. I'm like, what the hell
Yeah.
is this dude doing? Of course I got Buffalo. like Buffalo
I
got
don't.
better. Like this is the scariest thing is that Tre'Davious White is healthy. He's back now. They traded, got their safety back from Atlanta. Like, and then they got and then they got Hines from the Colts. You gotta be kidding. Like it's like now you gotta worry about Devin Singletary, James Cook, who's starting to kind of get himself going now. They just traded Zach Moss, so James Cook is the second running back in the
Yeah,
in
he's
the
number 2
rotation.
now. He's number 2 now.
And if he starts to go off, that's a running back. That's their next star. That's their next star running back. So maybe they didn't want to go get a top tier running back because they feel like they got one already.
They have faith in James Cook. I mean, it's yet to be seen.
And I'm starting to look at this right now, and I'm starting to say to myself, Buffalo, if they don't mess up, like, and I mean really mess up, they're going to the Super Bowl. Like it's just like you cannot.
I think we've been saying that now for a couple years now, and they always fail us against the
They
Chiefs.
figure out a way to they figure out to have the number one defense.
This is going to be one of those things where I hope they meet the Chiefs just to be like, okay, I will put you in the Super Bowl if you get through these guys. If you get through these guys, I will gladly put you through the Super Bowl. Because you know what's going to be shitty is if the playoffs happen and the Bills don't meet the Chiefs and then they go to the Super Bowl, it's like, well, there's no vindication. You didn't really like beat the team. You know, it's almost like when the Yankees beat the Red Sox one year and they won the World Series and everything, and then the following year the Red Sox beat the Yankees. It's like, okay, and then they won the World Series. That's vindication. But Buffalo has to do everything in their power to meet Kansas City in the playoffs, whether it's at home, whether it's at Kansas City, I don't care. But they have to do it. They have to do it. So
I think this is the game where you're gonna see the hurt of not having a Brees Hall really kick in.
Oh, like, yes, 100%.
Zach Wilson is not the guy. Like it's just he's not the guy. I mean, they just don't. They just don't know how to play him the right way. I don't know what the heck is going on.
I think the problem is Brees Hall going down hurt, and it sucked. And I think that's the key factor in this. So we'll see how it goes. But we both have Buffalo. Next up, we have Minnesota taking on Washington. 2 teams coming away victorious last week. Minnesota beat the Arizona Cardinals. Patrick Peterson got his redemption, asking for the general manager of Arizona after the game. And Washington winning a very dramatic win over the Indianapolis Colts at Indy. So, Brendan, I ask you. By the way, Minnesota got TJ Hawkinson during a trade. So, there's that. There's that for you. So, Brandon, who do you got, Minnesota or Washington?
I got Washington. Is this even a question? I got Washington. I got Washington.
Stop.
I got Washington.
Why do you have Washington, Brandon?
Chase Young is back.
Okay.
Which means pass rush is coming.
Okay, cool, I guess.
I trust Tyler Heineke way more than I trust Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
And I do not believe Minnesota's going to figure out a way to get TJ Hawkinson that goddamn involved early in the season. I just don't see it. So, listen, Washington for the last couple of weeks, I told you for the last couple of weeks, I said Tyler Heineke, once he's get the starting job, this is where Washington's going to take off. I am still not jumping off the bandwagon. Minnesota is really good, but here's the thing. Minnesota also gives up 26 points to Arizona.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah,
ain't nothing. That's something.
Of course.
I like what Minnesota can be, but what they are is very freaking fortunate. They're just very freaking lucky, very freaking fortunate. The schedule that they have is very goddamn lucky. And now you're playing.
They have gone some breaks. Yes, they have gone some breaks. And that's why I think this is another break for them. I'm gonna go Minnesota on this one. Look,
I don't see
I
it.
get it. I get it. I understand. Don't doubt
I don't see
Tyler
it.
Heineke. Look, I get it. I get it. Look, if Tyler Heineke wins here, then realistically, Carson Wentz is out of a job. He's out of a job.
Carson Wentz has
I
been
mean,
out of a job.
so again, but the thing with Minnesota that I don't think people are really understanding is they have Justin Jefferson. Minnesota or Washington does not.
They're
And
Terry
last time
McLaurin.
I checked, those corners for Washington really couldn't play very well. Like they were
They're
getting
Terry
burned
McLaurin.
by Michael Pittman. They were getting burned by Alec Pierce. That's bad, bro. Now we
Again,
got Justin Jefferson coming to town.
I'm not saying Washington's going to stop them from scoring points. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is they have Terry McLaurin. You said Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson is a monster, but they also have Terry McLaurin. They have Curtis Samuel.
So are you trying to really sit here and say that Terry McLaurin can match up with a Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
This is.
No.
Did you not see the catch that he made against Indiana last week?
It was a great catch.
Okay.
Against a very good corner. I get it. Against Stephen Gilmore. I get it. It was a great catch. But no. It's just the problem is that I just think that Minnesota's just going to find a way. And here's the thing. Washington doesn't even know who their running back is. They use Brian Robinson one week. They use Antonio Gibson the other. My brother joined on Instagram Live. Tell Brandon I hate him and the Saints. Sorry, man. He hates you and the Saints right now.
I understand.
I understand. He says he understands. But look, I don't know. With Washington, look, it's a great story. Now, Washington wins this one, great. Tyler Heineke keeps the job. Screw Carson Wentz at this point. Screw him. But until otherwise, but I mean, it just seems that Washington is responding more with Taylor Heineke. That's the problem.
And that's the thing. Washington, the team, likes Tyler Heineke.
Yeah,
now,
they do.
Whatever Ryan Rivera's beef is with this dude, he got to shut it up because he's saving your damn job right now. Like,
yes,
he's saving your damn job. I don't know what your problem has been, but he is the guy for this team. I don't know what the hell the problem is, especially like I said, they're at home. Washington being at home is a little bit, to me, that's a little tougher for Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I get it. It's just, I just think Minnesota can find a way to pull this out, and I think Dalvin Cook.
And if this was a primetime game, oh my God! If this was like Amazon
Prime, if this was a primetime game, I would totally go Washington. But it's not primetime, so
you're like, I'm going Washington. It's not even close. If this is Amazon Prime, I'm going Washington. All this is shit.
If this was Amazon Prime, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, I would pick Washington in a heartbeat. But it's not a primetime game. It is a normal 10 o'clock in the morning game, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game. So I'm gonna go with Washington here. Or I'm sorry, Minnesota. So there it is.
I'm going Washington.
Yeah, we'll see. Next up, we have the last morning or early games on Sunday slate. It is between the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Raiders, they had 2 bye weeks in the span of 3 weeks because they didn't score a damn point last week against the New Orleans Saints. And the Jacksonville Jaguars lost a heartbreaker in London. So 2 teams that are trying to find a footing and trying to see how far they can go and how they can turn their season around. So, Brandon, who do you got? Do you have the Raiders or do you have the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I got the 100-yard Devontae Adams game. I got that. I got the Raiders easily winning this game. I don't see how they struggle in this game. You cannot struggle in this game. There's no way in hell you struggle in this game.
Huh? Okay.
Us, the Saints, Dennis Allen is a really good defensive coordinator. He knows what he has to do. I don't trust Jacksonville. I don't.
And what's Doug Peterson?
I don't trust Jacksonville. I don't trust Jacksonville's defense. You just let Russell Wilson score 21 points. I'm pretty goddamn sure the Raiders can figure it out. Josh Jacobs is going to have a way better running game than he did against us. He's going to have Devontae Adams is clearly going to get the ball more. Hunter Winter is going to be there. You guys might get Darren Waller back. Like, it feels like this is the best time for the Raiders. This might be a blowout. I don't see this game. How they lost to us is going to be very bad for Jacksonville. And they had to sit in Florida. Think about it. You had to go to Florida after New Orleans. You had to go to Florida.
Yeah, because they didn't come home. They just they just kept going east.
You went to Florida. Not Disney World. Not Miami. You went to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, bro.
Like, if you don't want to whoop somebody's ass after that, you lost the game.
You went to Sarasota, bro. You went to Sarasota, Florida. Like, dude, really?
You just want to whoop somebody's ass. Like, I'm going to beat the living hell out of Jacksonville when we get on that field. This is more of a bad game for Jacksonville than it is for the Raiders. I don't see this game ending well for freaking Jacksonville. The Raiders are going to blow the – this is going to be like Houston and the Raiders a couple of weeks ago. Just a lot of fucking running. Josh Jacobs going to have at least 200 yards. Like, Devontae Adams is just going to get 100 yards receiving. This is going to be bad. I don't see Jacksonville winning this freaking game at fucking all. They're going to start tanking. This is the best time to start tanking. This is it. Just start taking. Try to figure out you get a top 5 pick. At least we're not gonna be picking the Jacksonville Jaguars for the first pick. We know that now.
Which means I can finally do my video in peace, my draft videos in peace, because I was kind of getting worried that Jacksonville was going 2 for 2 number ones, and I said, look, if Jacksonville picks number 1 again in this upcoming draft, I'm not doing a video. Like, I'll do the video, but you're gonna be doing all the talking. I'm just gonna be in the background, like washing dishes or some bullshit like that. So. Doing chores around the house. I don't know, some bullshit like that. So I'm not doing it again. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. The team that we saw on Sunday with the Raiders, that's it. Like, they're not meant to play on the road. Like, they have not won one road game. And I will be hell-bent to think that they cannot get this done. The problem is I don't think they're going to get it done. I think Jacksonville's actually going to take this one. I think Jacksonville's actually going to take this game. Look, right now, here's the problem with it. It just got reported right now that Derek Carr has a bad back. He has a bad back. And that could explain a lot now. That can really explain a lot what's going on right now. I know there's no longer no James Robinson, but our defense last week showed that we couldn't stop anything. We couldn't stop anything. We're so depleted defensively, and offensively, it's just so bad right now. That's why I'm going Jacksonville in this one, only due to the fact that Jacksonville is actually more healthier than the Raiders. So,
as a person that knows a starting quarterback that has a bad back like Jameis Winston, that's a lingering effect. Like, you can't keep playing them, and you just had a bye, so you pretty much going to play them for the rest of the year. So there's no break, except if you just sit them for the next couple games, and put Jarrett Stidham in. But I mean, I still believe in the Raiders way more than that. I just, yes, them losing on the road is terrible. But to me,
we haven't won a road game all year.
It's bad. It's bad. But I mean, like I said, you don't go from the Superdome to, I don't even know what the fuck you call Jackson Stadium. I have no idea. What is Jacksonville Stadium called? I have no clue.
TIAA Field. TIAA Field, something like that.
I don't even know what the fuck that initials mean. They
have a pool in their stadium, so that's pretty cool.
They got a pool in the stadium. You better whoop their ass. Just off of the merits of a pool in the goddamn stadium. You need to whoop their ass. Oh, my. Raiders got this game. I can't.
Right. Well, let's move on to the 2 afternoon games that we do have. We have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle, impressive win over the Giants last week. Hell-bent on stopping Saquon Barkley, and they did. Arizona, tough loss. Tough loss to the Minnesota Vikings. So, Brandon, I ask you, are you picking the Seattle Seahawks? Or you taking the Arizona Cardinals, the battle of the birds. Tweet, tweet.
I get Arizona. I
Oh.
get.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, 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 oh.
I think a couple of weeks ago, Seattle beat them 19-9.
Yeah.
That's some shit you
And
remember.
that was without DeAndre Hopkins, by the way.
Bottle, there it is, right? But I did DeAndre Hopkins. You beat them 19-9. I think that Arizona has to win this game. There is no way around this. You have to win this game. If you lose this game, this is going to end bad. And I'm gonna tell you something else. We talked about two head coaches on the hot seat. Cliff Kingsbury's on the hot seat, especially if you lose this goddamn game.
Yes,
Because
he is.
it's over for him because you're not winning the division. If you think about it, you're 3-5?
They're 3-5
When
right
Seattle be 6-3 if they beat you. San Fran is 5-3, I think, right now, until 4-4, something like that.
now. San Francisco's 4-4 right now.
Okay, so and you still got to play them twice, I think, and you still got to play the Rams twice.
Arizona still has a lot.
You lost to the Rams already, and you already lost to the Rams. So
yeah,
just like the Colts, you lose to this division game, it's kind of like, dude, it's over. You already lost to Seattle. You already lost to the Rams. You lose to Seattle twice, you got swept. It's over. What's the point? So your season is done pretty much, except you just get the wild card. But I don't think you're better than teams that's kind of in a wild card hunt, because Seattle and San Francisco, one of them are going to be in a wild card. Do you think about the NFC East? One of them is going to be in a wild card. Maybe the NFC South or the NFC. So it's just like the NFC North with the, what if Chicago gets hot? Because they're 3-5. It's not like they're out of the wild card conversation. So it's just like Arizona needs this game. They better win this game. You're at home. You have to win this game. If you do not win, your season is pretty much over.
I agree. And that's why I'm taking Arizona too, because I think they're going to be the more desperate team. They have everything to play for. Seattle right now is just riding high because Geno Smith is playing amazing. The defense looks good for Seattle, and he's connecting with DK and Tyler Lockett. But the problem is, the last time Seattle played Arizona, it was 19-9, and that was without D-Hop. And quite realistically, Arizona could have won that game too. So that's why I'm going to go Arizona here. Now with D-Hop back, they should be fine. Yeah. Now, if Seattle wins this one, it's not more so that Seattle won. It's more so that, okay, Arizona lost, and now they have a tougher hill to climb. And Cliff Kingsbury, your clock is ticking if that's the case. So I agree. That's why I'm going to go Arizona in this one as well. So we'll see how that one goes. Next up, we have a playoff rematch. We have the Los Angeles Rams going back to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Los Angeles Rams, for the 8th time in a row, have lost to the San Francisco 49ers.
God damn. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, the Rams have lost 8 times in a row to the San Francisco 49ers. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off a very embarrassing Thursday night matchup against the Ravens. Two teams that are desperate for wins, because the thing is, one division's more open than the other, but they both need this win. This is going to be I think it's going to be very competitive, only due to the fact that they both need this win. So, Brandon, I ask you, who do you have? Do you have the Los Angeles Rams or do you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because something has to give in this game, right? Something has to give. And it's either which offense is going to finally wake up and which defense is finally going to make a stop. So something has to give in this game. So go ahead, Brandon. Who do you got? Do you have the Rams or do you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Oh, God. I got Tampa because they're at home. I got Tampa because they're at home. Here's the thing.
Wow.
You score 14 points against San Francisco. You go into halftime, 14-10. You let them score, 17 unanswered? No.
Yeah.
21 unanswered.
21 unanswered.
21 unanswered points in the second half. You got Christian McCaffrey out there looking like the new LaDainian Tomlinson. it's like it just did not look good. Like I don't know what the hell is wrong with the Rams. Maybe they have checked out after winning the Super Bowl. We don't freaking know. Clearly, Matthew Stafford just loves Cooper Kupp, which has made Cooper Kupp now an injury target. He's hurt. It's just like this is the. I don't think neither one of these teams know how to run a football to say anything, but I trust that Tampa has better weapons than the Rams do. And because Matthew Stafford just throws it to Cooper Kupp, Tom Brady at least would throw it to any and everybody that's freaking open. That's a problem for me. You got one person that you like the most, and everybody else is just there. We all know who you're throwing the ball to. If you know who they're throwing the ball to, it's kind of easy just to double team them.
Yeah,
a triple team. And it just I don't trust the Rams. And we gotta stop with this Tampa Bay stuff. I don't think Tampa Bay is that great either. But listen, I mean, they look dejected when Todd Bowles. They don't look like they give a damn what this dude talks about. Like he looks, he just don't look like a head coach. Am I the only one saying that? Like they don't look like they care. Like defensively, they're like, I guess, whatever, dude. Like, I don't care. Shut up. Like, it's like
no, you're right on. You're right on. This is where it's kind of interesting for me because I was kind of going the Rams way, but then I remember that Cooper Kupp got hurt and the Rams have no running game now. Now that they're not even going to forcefully play Cam Akers, like even after trading him, they're still even after not trading him, they're probably still not going to play him. Allen Robinson, I don't think Matthew Stafford actually knows that Allen Robinson's on the team right now. And here's the thing about it with Tampa Bay. Yes, their offense isn't explosive, but I mean, Mike Evans is going to make it up because 2 weeks in a row now, he's dropped a huge pass, game-changing passes. He's not going to allow it to be a third one. And then, obviously, Leonard Fournette is probably the main reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win because that's a stable running game. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go Tampa Bay in this one too. And not by much. Let's not get it twisted. It's not by much. These are still two terrible teams.
This feels like whoever
scores. The problem is one team has at least a stability on offense than the Rams are going to have right now. So
it feels like whoever scores 20 is going to win this game.
20. Whoever scores 17 is enough. Whoever scores 17, that's enough.
But I gotta say this: Shaq Barrett is hurt; he's out for the year. So that is a massive thing for Tampa because if they can create pass rush, that kind of does leave Allen Robinson somewhat open.
It is Matthew freaking Stafford. You know he's good for at least 1 or 2 interceptions. You're good. You're good, Tampa. You're fine. You're fine. Okay? You're going to be okay. But, yeah, give me Tampa over the Los Angeles Rams. And God forbid
comes out there somewhere.
Then that whole offense is done. So, give me the Buccaneers over the Rams. Next up, we have our Sunday night matchup. Tennessee taking on Kansas City. Malik Willis is going to get another start, I believe. And why shouldn't he? They ran the ball and they ran a pretty good game. These aren't the Texans. These aren't the Texans. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs want to keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a game where anything can happen. And I think it's going to be more interesting than what people think because I think Kansas City was expecting – they know what they're going to get from Derrick Henry, but I think they were expecting Ryan Tannehill, and they don't really know what to expect from Malik Willis. So, Brandon, I ask you, who do you have? Do you have the Tennessee Titans or do you have the Kansas City Chiefs?
I do not see Tennessee running the ball 300 yards down the throat of Kansas City. What that makes sense, Derrick Henry can also run for at least 100 yards. Kansas City's defense isn't as great as everybody continues to boost them up to be. They're okay. They're decent. But they ain't going to do nothing that's going to scare you either. Yeah, I got Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid is 19-3 off of bye weeks or something like that. 9-3, something like that without bye weeks or something with this.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like you gave Andy freaking Reid a week, 2 weeks to prepare for Tennessee defensively. With Patrick Mahomes, who just came off possibly the best game he's had with all of those receivers.
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster looked like he actually wasn't doing TikTok. like he actually looked like he was a receiver again. Holy hell.
Yeah.
He looked like he was a receiver again.
Absolutely.
It's yeah, I got Marcus Valdez-Scantling actually caught a pass and went into the end zone. I was like, what the fuck is that? I literally saw
it is what it is.
Who the fuck is that?
I feel you. I feel you,
what
man.
the hell was that? With Green Bay, what was that? Yeah, I did. Travis Kelce is still healthy. He's still there. Kansas City can't run the ball, and that's to me is a little bit alarming because if James Cook is good in Buffalo and he does become the guy, if they do meet up in the playoffs, that's a fucking problem. That you can't run, but they can. That's a problem. So yeah, I got Kansas City winning this game because it's Andy goddamn Reid. like it's Patrick goddamn Mahomes. As much as I believe in Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill is not getting his job. If Malik Willis could actually make this game competitive, Ryan Tannehill is not getting his job back.
Because then, I think fans were a little intrigued of how the game played out yesterday. But that was the Texans. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking about two different spectrums of the football portal here.
We're literally talking about two different universes of NFL.
Like one of them is the Avengers. The other one is the little robots or the little robots that got their ass whooped or something like that. Like they're the little things that could. But anyway,
you're close.
I got Kansas City too, only because listen, Andy Reid off of bye is amazing. He's having an amazing record. You just pointed that out. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes or Malik Willis. Give me a break. Number 3, I get it. The Tennessee's defense is playing tough, but it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter in this instance. Kansas City's going to find a win this game. When they do, it's going to be over before we know it. I say probably up until the mid-third is when the game will at least not look as competitive. Because I think Malik Willis will catch them off guard for a little bit, but after a while, they'll be like, all right, this is what we're going to do to stop him and him. So give me Kansas City. Because again, Travis Kelce is going to be the best player in that football field, aside from quarterbacks. So give me the Chiefs over the Tennessee Titans as well. And lastly, Monday Night Football. We have the Baltimore Ravens taking on your New Orleans Saints. The Ravens, it is what it is. They look good. The Saints, they won a game. Now they're trying to get back on track to get back in that division. So, Brandon, I ask you, do you have the Ravens or do you have the Saints?
I'm going Ravens. Hopefully the Saints win, though. I'm going Ravens, but hopefully the Saints win. Listen, we shall be healthy. We should be healthy. We should be healthy. I don't know if we're going to be healthy, but they're saying Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. It's all pointing positive. Jarvis, Mike, Marshawn Lattimore, they should be healthy this week. They should play this week, which means that defense might finally freaking see what we could really be. Listen, last week was great. I'm not going to even sit here and act like it wasn't great. It was great to see those things actually figure out a way to actually win a game and actually don't give up a lead or even a score. I was like, holy shit, they still can do it. Okay, that's pretty cool. It just sucks it had to be the Raiders. But
you're like, oh, man.
It sucked it had to be the Raiders. But
yeah, it had to be somebody, and that's okay.
Yeah. Listen, I love the fact that we played the way we played last week. I think we figured something out. Mark Andrews might be out for this game. I don't know what the injury status is with him. They say he might be out. They say
it's a day to day.
Yeah, they say yeah. But Isaiah Likely, you're gonna have to deal with that dude. Also, Rashad Bateman is out. He re-aggravated his injury. So, which means the Baltimore's gonna try to run the goddamn ball. And we're pretty good at stopping the run, just not running quarterbacks. Yeah, we're good at stopping
That's
the run.
the issue there.
Quarterbacks. And that's going to be the goddamn problem. Lamar Jackson, this is literally like Lamar Jackson's coming out party for New Orleans because if we don't get this dude during free agency, I don't know if I'm being a Saints fan. I might have to really think about being a Saints fan because Lamar Jackson would look great in black and gold. When he looked good in black and gold,
I mean, it would help. It would help your
good.
case. It would help your case of maybe, hey, but I mean, it all depends. It all
I mean, look,
depends.
I mean,
Look,
like,
I got
listen,
Baltimore.
I mean, like, look, you got Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, like you got Chris Olave. Come on, man, you got a team here. Come on,
Well, that's
come
more
on.
weapons that he's ever had. That's more wide receivers than he's ever had since he's been in since he got
It,
named the starter in
yeah,
Baltimore.
but I got Baltimore. I literally got Baltimore because I just want to see if the Saints are going to win again. That's literally it. So if I don't choose them and they win, I take the L with the picks. But it's just like I take the L for the real life. I mean, I'm good with that. I take the win.
I'm just saying. Now, I got Baltimore in this one as well, only due to the fact that, I mean, yes, the Saints played amazing last week. The problem is they didn't have to face a quarterback like a Lamar Jackson, an offense like the Baltimore Ravens offense. Now, I will say this, though. The defense is still kind of suspect to me because they still give up the big plays and everything, but we shall see. Now that David Ojabo and other homeboy, they're activated, so they could play this week. They could play. That should help the pass rush that Baltimore's been desperately missing for a little bit. But I still have Baltimore only due to the fact that it's Lamar freaking Jackson, and Andy Dalton has to do everything he can. And the thing is, when Andy Dalton tries too hard, when he doesn't have the lead, he's gonna mess it up, and I think that's what's gonna happen. The reason he looked comfortable last week is because you're up by 3 scores. It's like, okay, I'm good. I have no pressure. But when the pressure's on, we know how Andy Dalton gets. So give me the Baltimore Ravens over the New Orleans Saints.
Andy Dalton turns into Andy Dalton. Like that's it's like Andy Dalton. Like it's literally, I don't know how we picked two problematic quarterbacks that literally, when the pressure's on, they revert back to who they are. Like it's just like they revert back to exactly who the hell they are. Like
Yep.
Jameis turns back into Jameis. Andy Dalton turns into Andy Dalton. Like I don't know what are you looking for, but those are the guys that we have.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I got Baltimore only due to the fact for that reason alone. I think they'll figure it out. I think Baltimore is on the verge of trying to figure it out. And now that they're getting defensive help, I think that's going to help them down the road. And who knows? Maybe this could be the start of something for Baltimore. So we'll see. But I mean, other than that, that's it, man. Those are our picks. We'll see how we do this week. I mean, there's a lot of trap games in here that I'm kind of worried about, but then there's some I'm like, you could be a trap, but I doubt it. I doubt this. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. So, that's week 9. Like I said, if you're a Browns fan, Cowboys fan, Broncos, Giants, Steelers, and the 49ers, enjoy your week off. Don't worry about it. Enjoy your week off. We will see you for week 10, exactly like how we are. We will be back here, same time, same place, same station, to make our week 10 predictions, and then we'll see. Now we're getting into double digits. That's how fast the season's going, folks. Next week, we are heading into double digits. And pretty soon, it's going to be over. So it is what it is. But until then, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody that is going to tune in later. Thank you all for so much for the support, whether it's here on the YouTube channel, whether it's on Instagram Live. Thank you all so much. Brandon, thank you as always for joining me, my man. I will see you next Wednesday so we can make our week 10 predictions. Until then, everybody, please be safe and start dressing warm because it's about to get chilly up in here. Everybody, take care. Peace.